Coming up on The Shield, the annual Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations come to Valpo. VUTV will take you across campus to some of the celebrations.
Coming up on The Shield, take a look at the chance of snow showers that we have. I'll let you know how much snow we can expect coming up. This edition of The Shield starts right now.
Thank you for joining us here on The Shield. I'm Lynnette Grant. Monday brought the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the campus of Valparaiso University. The theme for this year's MLK Day celebration was Hope, Action, and Change. 3 awards were given out to recipients who showed a significant and lasting contribution to create an environment where diversity is honored and respected. One of the 3 recipients was the Valparaiso men's soccer team following their One Valpo campaign.
It's terrific. Obviously, we're really proud to be here. It's nice when your work gets recognized, but probably the most important thing is it gives us another opportunity to spread the message even more. And so today we'll get another bump. One Valpo will go back up on the athletic website, and we get to spread the message even more. So we're really excited about that.
Among the speakers was Ishmael Bey, the writer of A Long Way Gone. Bey spoke about his experiences during the Civil War in Sierra Leone, as well as his activism after coming to America.
Well, I think one of the most important things, particularly in lieu of MLK celebrations, is that we must not be silent in the face of injustice, and that we must raise our voices and demand justice when we see injustice. It doesn't only have to be directed towards us for us to do something about it, Right. So I hope that young people would learn to put their preconceived ideas about the other away and get to learn.
Following a day of speakers, luncheons, and focus sessions was the closing session in the community room. Speaking at closing was Joanne Bland, a participant in the civil rights movement. As a child, Bland marched on Bloody Sunday and Turnaround Tuesday, as well as the first leg of the march from Selma to Montgomery. Through her experiences, Bland has become an activist for civil and human rights work. And VU wasn't the only place to honor Dr. King. The cast and crew of the movie Selma took to the streets of the same town Sunday to honor Martin Luther King Jr. The group, which included Oprah Winfrey, marched to the iconic Edmund Pettus Bridge, where the late civil rights leader marched. Winfrey thanked the crowd for being a symbol of hope and progress. The mayor of Selma said he was both proud and thankful for the visit. Right now, Andrew Whitmyer joins us from the weather studio with a first look at your forecast. Andrew?
That's right, Lynnette. High at 36 today with a low of 26. Average temperatures, though, are going to be right around 31 degrees with a low right around 16. So, again, we're going to be a couple of degrees above normal for tomorrow. And the record high for today is 59 degrees set in 1999. Low temperature down at -4 back in 2008. I will look at your full forecast and also when we can see our next chance of snow coming up after the break.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music, on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
For over 100 years, VU has trusted the torch for reliable and accurate accounts of campus happenings. And with an end of a century, we would like to say thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Valpo.
We have been covering stories that will impact you both in print and online. For Player Spotlight and next week events, to the opinions you have, count on us as Valpo's most reliable source for campus happenings. 4-time winner of College Weekly of the Year, The Torch. home of The Truth, celebrating 100 years of excellence in journalism.
To The Shield. European counterterrorism agencies are scrambling to assess potential threats in the region. This prompted by the arrests of more than 24 people with suspected links to Islamic extremists. There was extra security in place over the weekend in Brussels, as the European Union and Middle East intelligence agencies have identified an imminent threat to Belgium and possibly the Netherlands. Intelligence sources say as many as 20 terrorist groups, considered to be sleeper cells, could be ready to strike in Belgium, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. European counter-terrorist agencies have been trying to identify possible threats after deadly attacks in Paris left 17 people dead.
The recent terror attacks in Paris also led President Obama and Prime Minister Cameron coming together to present a united front against the growing threat from terror groups. Aaron McPike reports.
In the wake of the vicious attacks in Paris, as well as the news surfacing out of Belgium today, we continue to stand unequivocally, not only with our French friends and allies, but with also all of our partners who are dealing with this scourge.
President Obama and British Prime Minister David Cameron vowing to do more to disrupt terrorist communications.
We should try to avoid the safe havens that could otherwise be created for terrorists to talk to each other. There is a very real connection between that and the capabilities that our intelligence services within the law use to defend our people.
One of the major priorities for the U.S. and its allies is to identify the more than 19,000 foreign fighters who have traveled to Syria who may be planning attacks in their home countries.
Social media and the internet is the primary way in which these terrorist organizations are communicating. Now, that's no different than anybody else, but they're good at it, and when we have the ability to track that in a way that is legal, conforms with due process, rule of law, and presents oversight, then that's a capability that we have to preserve.
The British Prime Minister has pushed for changes to how some internet companies are encrypting their communications, something Mr. Obama said he's also worried about.
If we find evidence of a terrorist plot somewhere in the Middle East that traces directly back to London or New York, and we are confident that this individual or this network is about to activate a plot, and despite having a phone number or despite having a social media address, we can't penetrate that, that's a problem.
Aaron McPike, CNN, the White House.
The Secret Service and the FBI are investigating an incident near Vice President Joe Biden's house over the weekend. Shots were fired near the residence of the Vice President Saturday night. A Secret Service spokesman says a vehicle sped past the home and fired multiple shots. The spokesman also says the vehicle was on a public road outside the established security perimeter.
We received information from the U.S. Marshals about a possible stolen vehicle and fugitives in our area, and we were out tonight looking for that vehicle, and we actually located the vehicle in the rear parking lot of the IHOP.
Clyde have been arrested after a multi-state crime spree. 18-year-old Dalton Hayes and 13-year-old Cheyenne Phillips were taken into custody in Panama City Beach, Florida. The teens were on the run for 2 weeks following a series of car and gun thefts. They are suspected of stealing 3 cars, 2 with guns inside. In various states, the 2 were found asleep in a Toyota Tundra, which had been reported stolen from Georgia. Authorities are working to have both Hayes and Phillips extradited back to Kentucky, where their crimes began to face federal felony charges.
More than 50 demonstrators gathered outside of Denver's Brewell Theater on Saturday, protesting a performance by Bill Cosby. It happened after a Denver woman claimed she also was sexually abused and drugged by Cosby back in the 1980s. The protesters were joined by famed women's rights attorney Gloria Allred. Cosby and his lawyers have maintained his innocence since these allegations first started to surface.
Per the agreement, the consent decree imposed upon Penn State in July of 2012 is hereby repealed. All remaining sanctions against Penn State University are now voided. The sanctions include the elimination of the probation period imposed on Penn State, the elimination of unprecedented scholarship and transfer rules, and the restoration of 112 wins vacated by the NCAA that Penn State student athletes achieved from 1998 through 2011.
The NCAA and Pennsylvania officials have announced a settlement in the Penn State lawsuit. As part of the settlement, the NCAA will restore the 112 Penn State football wins that were voided during the Jerry Sandusky scandal. And with the wins restored, Joe Paterno becomes the winningest coach once again.
We're excited that Joe Paterno is going to get his wins back. It's going to be awesome. He should. He deserves it. He wasn't part of all that. Big time. It'll restore the history. It'll restore the whole community. It'll bring it back. Bring it back to life.
Just ahead, Storm Shield meteorologist Andrew Whitmyer will be back with your full Valpo weather forecast. Stay with us.
On a campus plagued with terrible weather, Valpo students suffer from boredom with no motivation to leave their room. They begin to search for free movies and stumble upon Valpo's new free movie streaming website, where you get unlimited free access to recent movies like Despicable Me 2 and Jobs at the tips of your fingers. So if you're feeling bored, then don't wait. Grab some friends, find a seat, and enjoy a movie on movies.valpo.edu.
And now, your dependable and accurate weather forecast with meteorologist Andrew Whitmyer.
Welcome back to the Shield. I'm Storm Shield meteorologist Andrew Whitmyer. Headlines for today: more snow is on the way tonight and into tomorrow. Near normal temperatures, though, for the rest of this week. But we do have some below normal temperatures to talk about as we get into early next week and going on for the next couple of days going into next week. Your RPM forecast for today, this is Tuesday at 7 p.m. 34 here in Valparaiso, 34 over in Gary, and 32 over in Gary. We'll advance this through by Wednesday morning. By the time you wake up and head out the door, you're definitely going to want the jacket because we're going to be just below the freezing mark here in Valparaiso area, so watch out for any black ice that could occur on the roadways. 31 in Valpo, 31 in Gary, 31 in Chicago, and 31 over in Joliet. We'll advance this through by Wednesday afternoon. By the time you get ready to head outside for practice, exercise, or coming home from work, 33 degrees here in Valparaiso, 33 in Gary, 33 up in Chicago. For those of you that have internships, we'll be just above the freezing mark. But again, we do have a chance of snow as we go throughout much of your Wednesday forecast as well. By Thursday at 7 a.m., though, we will be right around the freezing mark again, and that's where we will stay as we go through Friday as well. This is the setup that we have. We have this low pressure system right here. This is pretty much moisture deprived here, and that's going to swing through our area into Tuesday through Wednesday. And then after Wednesday, we do have a high pressure system that will build behind it, giving us some peaks of sunshine by the time we head into Thursday and also into Friday. So we'll time it out for you hour by hour here on the RPM forecast model. This is Tuesday at 10 a.m. Again, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies across the area. Those clouds will build as we go throughout the afternoon hours into early evening hours. This is 5 p.m. again, still no precip in the area yet. Just a couple maybe light flurries here and there, but overall nothing too bad yet. Wednesday at 7 a.m., though, this one we can see the light snow start to affect the area. Again, we're not expecting much in the way of snowfall because, again, there is just not a lot of moisture with this system. But overall, it could cause some slight hazards on the roadways for your afternoon commute and also morning commute going into Wednesday morning. By around the noon time, though, most of the snow will start to work its way out of the area, and we're just going to be left with some light flurries throughout much of the afternoon and day on Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look at your RPM NAM forecast model. This is for future snowfall. Again, we're only expecting about a ½ inch to an inch of snowfall across much of the area. So overall, not a big snow event. So for tonight, we're going to reach a low right around 26 degrees. Chance of snow showers, accumulation less than 1 inch. Wind southeast at 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we're going to reach a high right around 32 degrees. Again, chance of snow showers, but again, that accumulation is going to be less than 1 inch. So overall, not a big snow event, but again, just give yourself a couple extra minutes before you head out the door, going to work because the roads could be a little slick. Now for your Storm Shield 5-day forecast. For Wednesday, again, we are seeing cloudy skies, a couple of snowflakes around the area. 32 degrees will be a high, 24 your low. Thursday, again, we could see a couple of flurries still in the morning time with a high of 30 with a low of 22. Friday, though, that's when the high pressure comes back around the area. We could see partly sunny skies. Saturday, though, cloudy 34. Sunday's when the cold air returns, where we can see high of 26 with a low around 10 degrees. But on the bright side, we only have about 59 days until the first day of spring, so just a little under 2 months away.
I will say this weekend felt a lot like spring with
Yes,
the
it
abundance
did.
of sunshine that we had.
Yes, without we've seen temperatures near in the middle 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's almost getting short weather for me. 50 degrees is my limit.
Almost.
I also noticed a lot of people were outside running too. So
Yeah,
when, you know, it gets warmer. You were one of those people?
Yeah, I was one of those people.
It was definitely a good weekend to go out.
It will, but not this coming weekend.
Okay, well, thank you, Andrew. We have a lot to cover in Valpo Athletics. Up next in sports, Parker Gatewood will be here for a look at all of your Crusader athletics.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dick Vitale of ESPN, and I'm on VUTV. It's awesome, baby, with a capital A.
And joining us now with sports is Parker Gatewood. Parker, an interesting weekend for sports?
It is great to be back from break and talking more Valpo sports, where our seasonal dish is basketball. Both men and women's teams were in action over the past week, and we're looking to better their position in the Horizon League standings. The men's team headed to Wright State to match up with the Raiders, who only trailed Valpo in the Horizon League standings by 1 game. It was a dogfight the entire way through, and the Crusaders entered halftime with a slim 29-27 lead. But with a strong second-half effort from Vashil Fernandez, the Crusaders were able to pull away, defeating the Raiders 66-56. As was mentioned just a moment ago, Vashil had quite the game. 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks from the man from Jamaica. And the Crusaders are now 4-1 in Horizon League play. Well, when the women's team began the season winning 3 of its first 4 games, one of which included rival Butler, the Crusaders had fans thinking, maybe this is the year. I mean, when your only loss was to Indiana and you're outscoring opponents 235-168 in wins, you're going to raise some eyebrows. Since then, Valpo had dropped 10 of their last 11 games and were riding a 5-game losing streak heading into Wednesday's game against Oakland. They look to bounce back against a Golden Grizz team that was 1-0 in conference play. To the action we go, where Anderson there with the layup gets it to go. That would then put the Raiders up by 4. They were dominating the entire game, and as we'll see here, this one was the dagger over to Peyton Apsey. That put the Raiders up 17 late in the second half, and the Crusaders ended up losing by the final score of 71-54. The Crusaders played once more this past Saturday and came out with a similar result. Although the freshman tandem of Danny Franklin and Jasmine Walker had 33 points, Valpo fell to Wright State 80-62. Well, that's going to do it for sports this week, but remember to keep up on all the hoops hype this year, and for any other Valparaiso sporting news, log on to valpoathletics.com. Ted, Lynnette, back to you.
Thanks, Parker. And when we return, Andrew will be back for our final look at your Valpo weather forecast. We'll be right back.
What makes VU Science Olympiad so special to me is that it's really an amazing opportunity that brings literally hundreds of middle and high school students to campus to pursue their passion for science.
There are different events focused on biology, chemistry, physics, and also some engineering type events where they build things and bring them to the competition to test them. So it's great for students to learn more about the sciences, get involved.
Interested in the television industry? Stop by our office in Schnabel Hall and join VUTV today.
Andrew Whitmyer joined us back at the desk for a final look at your Storm Shield forecast. Andrew, what can you tell us?
Well, tonight, Lynnette, we're going to see some snow flurries, I should say, coming into the area. You can tell how excited I am to see more snow come to the ground. Again, we're going to see about a ½ inch of snow as we fall through Tuesday night. Wednesday, though, 32 degrees is going to be the high. Again, we could expect some snow flurries through the evening. Thursday, again, cloudy with a few snow flurries. 30 degrees will be the high. Friday, though, we will start to see partly sunny skies with a high of 30. Sunday, though, we will see the next chance of cold air come into the area with a low right around 10 degrees. So we just have to make it through the snow tonight and also into tomorrow, and then we will finally see the sunshine.
Now, you said there's about 59 days until spring?
Yes, 59 days until spring.
It sounds like you're a little excited to see spring come.
I'm excited for spring because I'm not ready for this ½ inch of snow that we're going to see tomorrow, potentially.
Okay.
I'm just not ready for the slush to start freezing. I'm going to be falling, ripping my pants.
Yeah, that's going to be the next concern, so watch out for black ice if you have to head out Tuesday night and also going into Wednesday morning.
But it's a good thing that basketball is an indoor sport. Am I right?
That's correct.
That's
the season.
very true. That's very true. All right, well, thank you, Andrew. And that's all that we have for today. I'm Lynnette Grant.
And I'm Teddy Riethmeier. For Andrew, Parker, and all of us here at VUTV, have a great week, Valpo.